7 minutes past 7 p.m. The meeting is called to order now. Mr. Clerk, please.
Mayor Joseph,
Here.
Councilman Galvin,
Here.
Councilwoman Keys, Councilman Bieneme, Vice Mayor Desirme.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. We'll proceed with the Pledge of Allegiance. At this time, we'll ask our officer, Neil Johnson, to please come forward and conduct us. Niall, I'm sorry.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, and we'll continue with the invocation. Pastor Mireille Simon.
Would you please stand again for just 1 minute and bow your head? Heavenly Father, here we are gathered in your presence, Father God, asking your wisdom and knowledge, that your wisdom and knowledge, Father God, reign in this place tonight. At this time, we bind all spirit, all evil spirit that is not of you, Father God. Let peace reign over the mayor, the city council, and all the members that have gathered here to go about the well-being of this city, Father. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you. I would ask for everyone to please remain standing while we observe a moment of silence for the massacre that occurred in Brussels, Belgium. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Mr. Interim City Manager, any additions, deletions, or amendments to the agenda?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. At this time, I would like to
Tab B.
Tab B, I'd like to pull Tab B at this time off the consent agenda. I would also request to pull my ordinance. Give me 1 second, sir. B as in boy. I would like to completely pull Tab P off the agenda completely tonight.
E as in Easter.
P as in Paul.
Paul.
You say ENP?
No, B. No, B is in
boy,
out of the
and
consent.
P is in Paul. And that'll be my. And I actually would like to request to move resolutions,
M and M?
the two contracts for the city attorney and the city manager. I'd like to tab L and tab M. I'd like to move both of those contracts to the end of the agenda as well.
What about F and
Tab
G?
L and M.
Is it F and M?
What about F and G of the consent agenda?
We do have a presentation for tab F.
Yep. Okay, so that shouldn't be on the consent?
We were good with tab F being on the consent. If you'd like to.
F is okay, G needs to be moved, please.
Okay, we'll pull tab G for our presentation.
Thank you. Now we'll go down to the podium for some special presentations. Okay, before we move forward, is the chief still here? Is he outside? Yeah, I just want you to come forward because we are recognizing the Officer Johnson tonight, who conducted us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pretty much he was named Officer of the Year from Miami-Dade County. a not from the city of North Miami, from Miami-Dade County. And he received the Life-Saving Medal of Valor and a prestigious law enforcement organization award for his courageous and selfless actions, where he pretty much, when he was victorious in a gunfight with a violent subject. And that subject, had shot two other victims and also shot at a Miami police officer and stole the city of Miami police car. And let's put it together for Officer Johnson again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor and Council, for acknowledging him. It's nice when you have a veteran that has almost 20, 25 years, should I say, and those type of actions and bravery that comes across is unique. And that's when you have that angel that's a blessing for him to be there protecting this type of city. So a few words from the Officer of the Year from Miami-Dade County. He enjoys this. He likes to be in the front and camera and photogenic. Trust me, he's going to kill me later, but.
I'd like to thank the mayor and council for the recognition, as well as the department for allowing me to do this for the city of North Miami. Thank you.
Actually, the officer will be receiving his award, his certificate award tomorrow. That would be a more formal ceremony for him. But we wanted to take the opportunity to acknowledge you tonight. Move to the center for the picture, photo op. I believe the next presentation, we're going to ask the personnel director to please come forward and recognize the employee of the quarter, right?
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I'd like to thank you, Mr. Mayor, and the rest of the council for your continued support of the employees, both sworn and civilian. We're very optimistic about the city of North Miami and the bright future we have with employees like the Officer of the Year, like the employee of the quarter, Brenda Lee. Brenda Lee is one of those employees who never needs direction. She's self-directed. She does what has to get done. She's the face of the department. When times are good and we're having tickets for the fair and we're having picnics, everybody knows to contact Brenda Lee. When we're going to give back to the community and we're doing our blood drives, it's Brenda Lee. Everybody knows Brenda Lee. And I'm so proud that she's a part of our department and that she's been nominated. And she was nominated by us in the department, particularly by Gail McDonald, who came to me and said, look, it's gone on long enough. She's the hardest worker in the city. It's way past time that we recognized her. And as much as I enjoy being up here, I'd like to call Brenda Lee up and the rest of the department. Please come on up. We're a small department. We get a lot done. Now, many of you know Brenda Lee from the good times, but she's also there when the bad times are up. When employees need a loan and they need to get money out of their deferred comp accounts, they come to Brenda Lee for money. So employees, elected officials, if you run across some tough times, you need money, come to Brenda Lee. Now, we took a picture and Brenda had her hair done special for the picture, but she didn't like that picture. Instead, she gave us a picture from a discotheque about 10 years ago. Brenda, we do have this nice plaque for her, and we have a $1,000 gift card. Oh, just kidding, it's only 50. This is local government. It's only 50. Brenda?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor Joseph. Thank you, council. I am very honored to receive this plaque and recognition today. As a matter of fact, today is my birthday, so what can I ask for? I am very, I am very grateful. So thank you, North Miami family and neighbors. Thank you.
All right, don't go up yet. As we all know, the month of March, we are celebrating women. And as I always say, women should be celebrated every year, I mean, the whole year and every day of the year. So they had to pick a month, so they picked a month. So they had to pick a day, so they picked March 8th. So pretty much it's every day of the year, every second, every hour, every minute, we should be celebrating women. And so it is so important that Congress actually adopted March 8th, you know, as a Women Day back in 1987. And ever since, you know, we've been celebrating women in different forms, in different ways. Here in the city of North Miami, we have an icon who actually thought about doing a special presentation for women, not women of North Miami only, but women in the community at large who have made a big impact on the community. So I really commend the former councilwoman, former vice mayor, Erlen Stiril, who actually started. So I don't know if she knows, I don't know if it's a surprise, but we're gonna ask her to please come forward so she can be presented with an award for thinking about creating this foundation that is so important to North Miami. So do I have to read this, Councilwoman? Yes, sir. Okay. It says, see, I'm a very petite guy, so that's why it's so petite. North Miami presented, award presented to Marie-Hélène Stiril. It should say councilwoman, former councilwoman. It's okay, that's my name. Okay. In recognition of National Women's History Month for your outstanding dedication and commitment to our community and spearheading the celebration of women in the city of North Miami. And this is presented to you March 22nd, 2016. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. It's really feel good to be home again. And again, Mr. Mayor, member of the council, thank you so much for remember the hard work that I put in this event. And really, if it was not for you guys, it wouldn't happen until today. Again, thank you so much. And thank you, guys.
I'm told that this belongs to you as well. No, but you stay with us. Stay with us while we do the other. Okay. You can stand over here, Come in and explain that. That's a woman thing. Come on. Go ahead.
Councilwoman Stiril, just to let you know, and all the women that are being presented tonight, that the flower is also a brooch. So you can enjoy it all the time.
That's a big one. So what we thought about doing this year is pretty much each council member, we came up, we nominated someone and came to a consensus of honoring the five, actually 6 women tonight, plus the councilwoman, so that makes 7. The next one we are going to call is Dr. Flo Lindor. Dr. Flo Lindor is being recognized when they asked me to think of a woman that they think would deserve to be honored tonight, she came to mind, and the reason why I chose her is because of the many work that she has done in this community. She is a very devoted woman to her community, and she has the community at heart. And she served as the first Haitian woman in the Florida Commission on the States of Women in Tallahassee, Florida. And also she served as a radio host, TV host for the past 23 years. And I listen quite often to her shows. Her shows are usually based on education, information, and really creating a good, sound community where she lives and serves. So for all you do, thank you very much, Dr. Florinda.
Two words. Thank you. Particularly to my husband and also the boys. Be good in life and do good at all time. You'll be amazed that good pays off when you least expect. For years, I wake up at 6 a.m. to go to Farm Share to pick up produce to bring them from Homestead to North Miami. 23 years where for 2 Fridays, every other Fridays, the fresh produce come right there in North Miami. I would never think that on spring break, it will pay off. Be good and do good when you least expect it pays off. Thank you all.
Well, the next plaque is being presented to a woman without, I mean, I don't have words here to really make an introduction for her. I guess her assistant can actually speak to the numerous work that Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, has done in this community, first as a teacher, then as a mayor of a municipality, then she went to the state, then to Congress. So I don't know what else to say about, who here doesn't know anything about Councilwoman Frederica Wilson? So without any further ado, I will ask Daphne to please come forward and accept this little plaque on behalf of the Congresswoman.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Daphne Jean-Pierre. I'm here on behalf of Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. It is a pleasure to be here, and I extend my heartfelt thanks to Mayor Smith-Joseph, the City Council, and all who had a part in this presentation, and congratulations to all the honorees. It's a pleasure to be in your company. Thank you very much.
I believe the next one is being presented by our Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mr.
Alex Desulme.
No, I'm just fine. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us as we recognize women in our community. This evening, I have the distinct pleasure of honoring Ms. Bonnie Schwartzbaum, a North Miami resident for the past 36 years. Bonnie has raised 3 children, from North Miami. She's a member of the North Miami Youth Opportunity Board. She currently served as the director of the Jewish Community Service Kosher Food Bank, located right across from City Hall. Bonnie has been an active member in the North Miami community. She is a chair of the North Miami University Relation Board, which serves in partnership with our local universities and schools, such as Florida International University, Johnson & Well, Barry University, Miami-Dade College, North Campus, and Miami-Dade County Public Schools. As the chairwoman, she served at the annual Mistress of Ceremony for the city, our own Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Candlelight Vigil. As a seasoned leader in the South Florida community, Bonnie also served as the chair of the Israel Bonds, where she spent 10 years as Women's Division Chairperson for Miami-Dade County and Broward. She was recognized as Woman of the New Millennium. This evening, I have the distinct pleasure again to introduce on behalf of the North Miami City Council, one of our own very well resident, the one and only Bonnie Schwartzbaum. And I must make a little note. Bonnie's actually my, how would I say this? She makes me look good every time I need clothes. She owns a men's warehouse, but Bonnie, thank you. You well deserve this.
Menswear, 2000 Northwest.
See, I'm doing the plug for her. So thank you, and thank you for all. Thank you for all that you do in North Miami.
Thank you very much, Alex. Oh, wow, thank you. Yes. There we go. Thank you. I just want to say a quick thank you to my family who is here tonight. Hi, Mom. And the rest of my family, and also to my colleagues who are here from Jewish Community Services of South Florida. We actually live right across the street at 735 Northeast 125th Street. And I, too, love Farm Share. I go on Thursdays to the Kosher Co-op to pick up from there, and it is truly an honor and a pleasure to do my job and run a food bank and be able to help feed people every single day. David Feigenbaum is here, and he always tells me you have the best job in the world, and I really do. To able to give back to people, it's just a wonderful feeling. So thank you for giving this to me tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
The next plaque is going to be presented by Councilwoman Carol Keys. You have won the prize.
Good evening. It is my pleasure this evening, to have the distinct honor and privilege to recognize longtime North Miami resident, active community member, and my sister, Nancy Keys Bloom. Nancy was raised in North Miami. She attended school in North Miami from elementary school, William Jennings Bryan, North Miami Junior High, and North Miami Senior High. Nancy married Simon Bloom, our former clerk, and she raised 2 children who also attended and graduated from North Miami Senior High. In the 1980s, Nancy joined the Parks and Recreation Commission, and she still proudly chairs that board for many, many years. She also served on the original MOCA board for several years in its original location with Luann Kolodny. Nancy remains very active in the city of North Miami as a volunteer, and she continues to be an unsung hero in this community. She encourages involvement from several residents and several city-related activities and movements. Nancy is always there. You ask Nancy, she will be there to help. This evening, on behalf of the City Council and North Miami residents, we recognize Nancy Keys Bloom for her lifelong dedication to this community. And I'm so proud of you, Nancy. Come on up. There's your brooch and lady. And we're presenting you with this plaque, because you have so much artwork, at least you have room for this. North Miami Celebration of Women, presented to Nancy Bloom in recognition of National Women's History Month for your outstanding dedication and commitment to the community.
I just want to thank my sister and the City of North Miami and the council and mayor for honoring me tonight, and I thank you very much.
The next presenter is Councilman Bien-Aimé, Councilman for District 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, you name it. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Bonsoir. Ah, okay. And the mayor said that before, and I have to repeat that, for what they represent in our community, in our lives. And women should be honored every minute, every day, and throughout the year. That's mean tonight, it's an honor for me to recognize someone who has been working in the community. And I was so lucky that she lives in my district, in District 3 and 4. Her name, it's Mrs. Alud Pierre. Mrs. Alud Pierre, she's a highly motivated leader, a mentor, a coach. Lady Alud Pierre is the president and the founder of Ladies of Valor Empowerment Love and Youth of Valor Empowerment YOV in North Miami, a community faith-based, not-for-profit organization established to empower underprivileged women and youth in our community. With a background, Alud dedicate time by servicing and empowering young women with the necessary skills, motivation, and confidence to improve their quality of life so that they can become self-sufficient and college-bound. Alud and her organization, Love, recently celebrate its 10th anniversary here in the city of North Miami. Today, on behalf of the city of North Miami residents, we recognize Alud Pierre for her dedication to empowering the future female leaders in our community. Thank you. Alud Pierre, in recognition of National Women's History Month, for her outstanding dedication and commitment to the community. March 22, 2016.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Tonight, I'm very humble. First and foremost, I would like to thank God for blessing me, for giving me the opportunity to do what I do. Throughout my career, there are two women that really inspire me. The first one is my late mother, who's not here tonight to see this. And the second one was the first African-American woman who has ever led one of the major public safety in Miami-Dade County. One day she looked at me. She said to me, "Baby," they give her a nickname Mother. She's very loving but tough. She said to me, "To whom much is given, much is required." Today, I'm very honored and humble that I'm able to share my gifts, my talents, to make a difference in the city of the Move. Thank you.
Now we save the best for last, as you know it. Councilman Scott Galvin. You don't have one? Well, just come and present your heart to the women in North Miami.
Obviously, Councilwoman Sterrill, it's wonderful to have you here tonight. She's the one who started this program half dozen years ago, and it's because of her initiative that we continue to do it and have all of these wonderful women in the room tonight. So thank you for being here tonight. Thank you, Councilwoman Sterrill, and thank you, Mayor.
Okay, I believe this is it, no? This is it? Oh, picture? Women in the front, guys in the back. That's what the women do. that's it. You leaving? All righty. Thank you very much. The meeting is still in session. At this time, we'll call Sergeant Angelo Brinson. Not Charles Bronson, but Angelo. Who's doing it? Oh, Major Francia Burden is going to be doing a presentation on Zika. Zika virus. Just a quick update.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and yes, a brief update and information sharing. And part of the emergency planning for the community is also providing information that may have health hazards. And the Zika virus is spread primarily through the bite of an infected mosquitoes. Most of the common symptoms of the Zika virus is fever, rash, joint pains, and conjunctivitis, which is the pink eye. The illness is usually mild with symptoms lasting several days up to a week. People usually don't feel the sickness. It's very mild. Once a person has been infected, he or she is most likely protected by future infections. The main common concern with the Zika virus is for pregnant women and their unborn child developing birth defects. Some of the basic precautions to take to reduce the amount of mosquitoes around your home and your backyard, around your business, and precautions to take while traveling, we have on the flyers tonight, and we'll have it in the back of the room. And pretty much it's listed on some of the precautions that you should take. The Zika virus has a hotline. The number is 1-855-622-6735. Also, the Florida State Surgeon General, Dr. John Armstrong, provides a daily update of new Zika cases in Florida, and pretty much post these updates on the website www.floridahealth.gov/newsroom. So if you need any information, please, it'll be provided in the back of the room. We have flyers. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Major. Just a little add-on to piggyback on the Zika. It's primarily transmitted through a mosquito, but it can be transmitted sexually as well. The cases that they have identified in Florida have been transmitted via sexual contact. So users beware, I guess. And the next item on the agenda is city events. Is it? City events.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, staff, and members of the public. Cassandra Timothy, Public Information Specialist, and I have the pleasure of sharing all of the exciting events coming up in the city of North Miami. Bring the entire family to Moonlight and Marshmallows at Enchanted Forest Park for a fun-filled evening. Enjoy a toasty campfire, s'mores, activities for kids, and a night nature walk on Wednesday, March 23rd at 6 p.m. Celebrate Women's History Month at the North Miami Public Library on Wednesday, March 23rd, featuring Potomitan, Haitian Women Pillars of the Global Economy. Film screening begins at 6 p.m. Join Dr. Smith Joseph, Mayor of North Miami, and the Beacon Council at the First Quarter Business Luncheon to discuss economic development opportunity within the city of North Miami on Thursday, March 24th from 12 to 2 p.m. at the Gwen Margolis Community Center. The Museum of Contemporary Art opening exhibition, Acta Non Verba, The Art of Marielle Plaisir, will be on view from March 24th to May 29, 2016. The artist reception will take place on Thursday, March 31st at 7 p.m. Admission is complimentary for MOCA members, which includes North Miami residents. Join the City of North Miami at the annual Spring Egg Hunt on Saturday, March 26th at Enchanted Forest Park. Children ages 12 and under will revel in face painting, pony rides, train rides, inflatable games, and good old-fashioned egg hunts with prizes. There will be animal on-site available for adoption. Gates open at 10 a.m. Admission is $1. For more information about all city events, please visit the website www.northmiamifl and follow the City of North Miami on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to once more acknowledge the presence of Pastor Mireille Simon. Thank you very much for being here tonight. I feel very blessed. She is one of my spiritual leaders. When I have problems, I don't know what to do. She's one of the spiritual person that I turn to. And thank you very much for all you do in the community. Also, I see a guy who brings bad memories to me tonight, Dr. Paul Abiri. Actually, he's one of the guys who can actually attest to the fact that I went to school. One of my classmates, and we used to study. Well, he didn't used to study much, but he always had his A's, 95%. I said, Paul, how do you do it? I don't know, but he always does it. Let's continue with the agenda. We need a motion for the consent. Do you have any update for city projects?
Staff had prepared a presentation for city projects. However, with the nature of the agenda tonight, I would respectfully request that we move it to next meeting.
Okay. So we need a motion to approve the consent.
So moved.
Second.
As amended.
Yes, as amended.
Motion was made by Vice Mayor Desmay to approve the consent agenda as amended from A through F, excluding G. That motion was seconded by Councilman Desmay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Item passes 5-0. Tab G.
B. B.
Tab B is in boy. Proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, supporting the Better Building Initiative goals compiled and reported by the Mayor's Climate Protection Center during the United States Conference of Mayors in January 2016 for the purpose of reducing future energy use and carbon emissions, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes. That's tab B is in boy.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Clerk. Well, the only reason why I wanted to pull tab B out of the consent agenda is it may look like a very small resolution, but however, when I decided to have it as a resolution I came from the U.S. Conference of Mayors, it was a big topic. I mean, you all know about carbon emissions, carbon dioxide emissions, and climate changes and so forth. This is a big issue. It's a global issue, as a matter of fact. And by passing this resolution tonight, upon discussing it and analyzing it with our city attorney, it's like it will be like an umbrella that will promote other codes in the future as far as new constructions and even existing constructions that may be due for repair and so forth. That's why I wanted to put it out of the consent agenda so that the public could actually be aware of the move that we as a city are taking really to take North Miami at a level where people can be protected, people can feel safe, people can feel that we are a responsible government that are looking after the best interests of the city. But if at this point, if anyone wants to make a comment to the mic, I will open it to a couple of persons to speak to climate change. Pretty much in the new constructions, hopefully, with new codes that will come out of this resolution, we hope that in the next few years, North Miami will be a city where old incandescent lights will not be permitted and move to LED lights, which will be more efficient and more economical. And we do have programs like the green program that we have from CP&D, where we are promoting small businesses to really move with the green initiative. We do partially subsidize some of these projects. If you think that you are not using energy efficiently, please come to the CP&D department. We do have that program where we can partially subsidize your small business to move to a green way of doing business. I see no one coming to the mic, so I'll bring the item to the council if there is any comment to be made by any council member. That's the B. That
No, sir, there's no. No.
Okay.
May I have a motion to approve tab B?
I move.
Second.
Motion was made by Mayor Smith Joseph to approve tab B as in board as is. That motion was seconded by Councilman Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote. Tab G as in good. Proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving a tentative plate request from CRP Westport Self-Storage 125th LLC DBA U.S. Storage Centers to consolidate 4 adjacent parcels specifically identified by Miami-Dade County folio numbers 062229 04201 90
G as in God.
06 2229 042 0220 06 2229 042 0222 06 2229 042 0240 into one single parcel with one single folio number in accordance with Article 3, Division 8, Section 3-802 of the City of North Miami Code of Ordinances, Land Development Regulations, and Chapter 28, Section 28-7B of the Miami-Dade County Code of Ordinances, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes. Again, that is tab G as in good.
Mr. Mayor and Council, at this time, I'm going to call up the Community Plan Zone Director, Tanya Wilson-Sejour.
Thank you. For the record, Tanya Wilson-Sejour, Community Planning and Development. The request before you is for approval of the tentative plat. I'll read the staff recommendation into the record. Staff is requesting that the mayor and council pass and adopt the proposed resolution approving with conditions a tentative plat request from CRP Westport Self-Storage LLC to consolidate the above captioned adjacent parcels into one single-family parcel with one folio. If IT has the image up, I'll go ahead and give the council just some background on this item. As you can see from the location map, the subject area is located along 125th Street, just east of 13th Avenue. And as depicted on the exhibit, there are 4 separate parcels that applicant is requesting for consolidation through the tentative plat process. In terms of the land use in the area, parcel 1 is zoned C3, and parcel 2, 3, and 4 are zoned M1 industrial. And the request is to consolidate in order to create a storage facility. As required by City Code, the request has to be consistent with Article 3, Division 8 of the Code, and once approved by City Council, it has to be transmitted to Miami-Dade County for tentative plat approval. On the second phase of the review, the council will see the item again as a final plat. Staff's recommendation right now is for approval of the item. The item has been reviewed by the Planning Commission, who recommended unanimous approval of the item by a 6-0 vote. If the council has any questions at this time, staff is available to answer that.
Now, for that to happen, do we have to, I guess that question is for the attorney as well. Are you asking us to change the zoning of one from commercial to industrial or from industrial to commercial?
Actually, no. The zoning and the land use are not affected at all. It's simply just the meets and bounds being consolidated together into one folio is what the applicant is requesting. It's 4 separate parcels brought together under one mother folio.
Okay.
I had some questions because one of the parcels is C3 and the industrial use of the self-storage is not allowed on the C3.
Correct.
So the first question is, will the warehouse be allowed to go where that C3 parcel is?
No, that's actually a very good question. The intent from the applicant is to have a retail use occupy parcel 1, which is commercial in nature. And then to the back of that, under parcel 2, 3, and 4, they would have the actual industrial use of the storage facility.
So when we approve the plan, are we going to say that from this lot line, which is no longer exists since it's
It's
one
a
parcel?
split zone, really, is what you
Is it
define
gonna,
it
is
as.
it gonna remain a split zone?
Correct.
Okay.
That's their intent, and they like the fact that they have the split, so at least they can maximize the commercial office piece on
And
the front end.
Second question is, I did watch the planning commission, and their recommendation is not in this report, but they did speak about not having
This
any
right there.
trucks or loading
There, she sees that.
be on the 125th, I guess it's 125th Street. So their recommendation was to do it with a condition that there would be no trucks entering in and out of the highway on 125th, because that is only a few feet from a major intersection where the railroad is, et cetera, which is not mentioned in here. And if we,
There is a recommendation.
no, the planning's recommendation is not in here, speaking to not having any trucks
Oh.
or loading enter from 125th Street, only from the 14th Avenue. So if we approve this tonight, which is one of the reasons I asked for it to be pulled, I'd like to add that recommendation or stipulation or restriction, heavy restriction covenant, Mr. Attorney, if that's possible.
That's perfectly fine. As a
Okay,
matter of
well,
fact,
can we're gonna come back to it anyway after a public hearing. You wanna bring it
Okay.
back after
That's
public
fine.
hearing?
That's fine.
Okay, public hearing is now open on the item.
Good afternoon. I live in that block. This is the first I heard about this. I live a block away from this. How come there was the citizens were not consulted with this, or this is just, because that's a very hectic intersection right there. There was nothing for the citizens to, because when they're gonna change zonings or something else in any other place, the citizens are consulted. I ride in that intersection 6 times a day. This is very crowded. The persons who own at least the 4th lot is not a responsible or clean person. So this is the first I heard about that, or my neighbors. I'm waiting. You're just gonna look at me?
You are given 2 minutes to make your statement and then sit down, and then whatever else, we'll discuss it afterward. Public hearing is still open on the item. I see former Mayor Kevin Burns coming. Thanks for coming tonight.
Members of the City Council, Mr. Mayor, thank you. Kevin Burns, 2065 Alameda Drive. I also attended the Planning Commission, and what's before you is a very simple item. You're just combining 4 individual pieces of property into one piece of property. You're not changing the zoning, you're not doing anything, you're just allowing the property owner to put all his properties together so that they can build a new project, a new building, I believe it's gonna be the storage facility. If you go through that area now, it's heavily traveled, but with this type of mini storage facility, a lot less traffic goes through there, and I think it'll be a little bit of a relief for the congestion in that area. And again, North Miami needs new businesses, needs new buildings, and needs new people coming to our community. And again, you're not changing the zoning, you're not changing the density issues, you're just allowing the owners to combine 4 pieces of property into one. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Council. William Prevotel, 11950 North Bay Shore Drive. I would have to agree with former Mayor Burns and the Planning Commission. The council has expressed an interest in us going forward, moving forward and progressing in this city. Here we have a rather nondescript block of buildings, and zoning really doesn't allow for anything so spectacular. It's sort of a blessing In this case, an owner wants to take these nondescript buildings, compile them, and possibly rejuvenate the area. It's something where, you know, I've mentioned this many times. Unfortunately, we're going to be, until our zoning truly changes, we're going to be the home of storage areas and warehouses and dollar stores and things of the like, very unfortunately. But this is about as best as we have right now. And if to put a blanket over this and not to allow it to go forward is almost going backwards, because the buildings will continue to decay. The neighborhood is not getting any better with the condition of the buildings that they are. And it's so minor, but it is something to look forward to going forward. So thank you for your consideration approving this.
Good afternoon. My name is Alina Medina, and I live on 124th Street, very close by to the zone, to the area that's going to have the change. And I would like to know if any part of this is already owned by somebody, and I really would like to know more about this before it goes forward. You know, have more information on it. I mean, I'm all for you know, getting more business and growing, you know, with planning. So I would like to know more about what is exactly involved in this project. So at the point where it is, I don't know anything about it until right now. I really am opposed to it.
Good evening, Ria Carr, 1250 Northeast 125th Street. I don't mind the development of the business area, but my one question is, I live right on 125th Street and 12th Avenue. So what I think about is, I live pretty close to that business district area, so it affects my, my space there where I live, my neighborhood. So I know it's good for the neighborhood and business, but I have to consider the traffic, because coming out of my building on 12th and 125th Street is congested as it is. So to have, another business that seems like it's a storage facility, it's just going to create just a little more, traffic. So if you would please consider that. It's hard enough for me to get out of my building on 125th Street with the cars speeding by. So that's what I ask you to please consider.
Good evening, Annie Montgomery, 2082 Northeast 124th Street. I don't have an opinion one way or the other on the development. It just disturbs me when I hear residents that live close by were not notified, that there was no notice sent out. So once again, I'm very disappointed in staff that they did not send out notice to these owners that live right there in the condominium close by. And I also want you to know, because of this, the businesses that were there got very short notice that they had to vacate. And they're in the process of vacating at this point, but they got very short notice from the new owner. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Montgomery. Public hearing is now closed. Members of the council?
I have two questions, Mr. Mayor, for Tanya. Do you know what type of storage is going to be there? You said self-storage, yeah. Is it going to be a lot where they're going to be able to park trucks?
No,
What type
it's
of
not.
storage?
It's not that type of storage. It's actually storage for personal items.
Okay.
It's not for trucks or vehicles. If I could respond to the noticing comment, the item was properly noticed. Florida statutes and also our local codes require that it be published in a newspaper of local circulation. So it has been published in the Miami Herald, both for the Planning Commission and also for this meeting. So the city has satisfied its noticing requirement.
What would be the total size of the land?
The total
when
size?
they add it together? You have an
I'll
idea?
get that for you. Actually, I have it on the slide. Oh. It's 1.68 acres. It's actually on the screen. I'm sorry.
1.68?
Mhm.
When you said it won't be just a lot and park cars, like a storage, it's going to be
No, it's
personal
not for
item
car
storage.
parking.
Okay.
It's for an actual storage center for
Okay.
personal items.
Thank you.
Now, once, whatever whichever way we do go, does the county have to give the blessing as well?
Yes,
Okay.
Once it's approved as a tentative plat, it's transmitted to Miami-Dade County Plat Review Committee for review. Then, once that's approved, it comes back before the city council in the form of a final plat. So you will see it again once the county has looked at it.
Good.
Okay. This was actually on the consent agenda. It seems to be benign, but I do want to make sure that combining 4 parcels does not allow the front parcel on 125th Street to become industrial. That is for the protection of the residents there. So I need to make sure that does not become residential. And again, I would like to incorporate the thoughts of the Planning Commission. This was their idea unanimously, that there would be no ingress and egress of trucks and loading on 125th Street, because that would cause the traffic. So any loading into the self-storage would strictly be on 14th Avenue. And I'd be willing to make a motion to approve this with that restriction. And also I want to make sure from our attorney that we don't have any problem with the 125th Street parcel being used as industrial.
That is correct, and that was the condition placed by the Planning Commission on the applicant, and the applicant agreed on the record.
So is that in our resolution? Because what happens at the Planning Commission, if it's not in what we've agreed to, it gets lost if we don't incorporate into our resolution. So. Okay.
Mr. Mayor.
She made a motion.
Oh, she made a motion? I'm sorry. I'll second. Well, I'll second it for discussion.
Go ahead.
Oh. My concern, Mr. Mayor, is that we are being known as a city of storage, almost. We just had one on 133rd off 7th. This one right here, it concerned me a little bit. I know we met the statute requirement of notifying the public, but Madam Director, is there something that we could do in the future of at least letting the folks who's this going to be impacted, at least let them know, some type of outreach, or perhaps posting this on our website a little bit sooner? I know I looked at the item the minute that it was published last week, and of course I looked at the commission, the Planning Commission meeting. But some folks may not have the time or the resource to watch the Planning Commission meeting. So maybe we need to find a way of letting the public know, because obviously not everybody reading the Miami Herald. I know if it's something on the west side, they're not reading the Herald as much. So maybe in addition to the Herald, of course, we'll do that. We find something else. We advertise maybe on our website.
This might be a good time, Mr. Mayor, through you to the city manager, for our constituent aides in each district to have a little bit more awareness of what's popping up on the agenda, and take the initiative to reach out to community activists and let them know, one way or the other. But that I would, if it was me, I would task those individuals with making sure that things that are in that district that are on an agenda get communicated to people we know are the activists.
You are so right, Councilman Galvin, and that is a good point.
Staff will take that and we'll make sure that we do disseminate that information through the aides to the community activists in each district.
All right.
Yeah. I would say that I'm not happy with the self-storage going there, being that it is so close to where our Tri-Rail is going. I think there's a much better use. The problem is the first 3 parcels are zoned industrial, and the storage, I believe, is a permitted use. And whether we like it or not, if someone owns a piece of property, you can't tell them if it's a permitted use. Is it permitted? If it's permitted, you can't stop someone for putting up a self-storage. It's allowed. But we can stop them from putting any kind of storage or industrial use on 125th Street, which is what I want to do. And I apologize for not telling my activists and my Palomar. I do apologize because I knew about it. I've been watching it. But.
All right.
So I have a motion made by Councilwoman Keys to approve this item with the amendments as stated on the record by Councilwoman Keys. That motion was seconded by Vice Mayor Desime.
What is the amendment?
The-
Can you read the amendment?
I'm gonna have the city attorney clarify the
To
amendment.
restrict ingress and egress of trucks.
Yes, yes, it'll.
Can't have everyone speaking on the record.
It'll be with those conditions.
Conditions.
With the trucks, the ingress and egress of the trucks.
With no,
Fully restate the amendment, please.
and with, you want me to do it? or
Go
you-
ahead.
Okay, so with the provision that there's a restrictive covenant going along with this parcel, that there's no ingress or egress of trucks or loading on the parcel entrance on 125th Street, and that parcel on that side not be used for industrial purposes.
What size of trucks?
The front size.
Loading trucks, that there's
Loading
no,
trucks.
maybe you should rephrase it. I want to make sure there's no loading. I mean, a truck may go in there for the office, but we don't want any loading trucks or any loading of any storage materials going through 125th Street.
Councilwoman, if you may, as you would want your amendment written on the minutes, can you please state your amendment on the record as you want it written on the minutes?
The mayor asked me about trucks, I don't.
What do you?
Now we're talking about pickup trucks, trucks of a certain axle, like
Yeah,
what kind of trucks?
18-wheelers, 10-wheelers.
Industrial.
Trucks, loading trucks, trucks with materials for loading to storage.
If I have a pickup truck with stuff stuck in the back of my bed, is that a
If
loading
you're,
truck?
if you're pulling into the office to talk to the office and rent or do something, conduct business, that's fine. But you should not be taking material out of your trucks and bringing it into the storage. There should be no loading.
We need to, we can't try to guess what
Well,
the
then
purpose
I
of
need
the
help, okay, I need help from my attorney to phrase it, because he knows what my intention is. I don't want people driving in on 126th Street, taking stuff out of their trucks or cars and loading. There should be no loading from.
No loading or unloading of commercial vehicles, commercial trucks coming into 125th Street. At that
Coming
entrance.
in on
Ingress or
activities
egress.
on
I mean,
125th Street.
I mean, it's a strange parcel. It's a little thing. It's where Kung Fu Connection was. It's a little, there's like a little parking lot there. I'm not sure exactly which buildings are gonna be used, what they're gonna do, and whether there's even going to be I haven't seen the plans, so I don't know whether they're gonna get to the storage from that driveway or not. So it's kinda hard to, I just don't want loading of storage goods. Loading should not be, you shouldn't access the loading and the self-storage
Is
from the
anybody here from
125th
the
Street.
petitioner tonight?
Is the applicant?
Yeah, let me, Councilwoman, what about okay, they're gonna be using it as a storage facility, right?
You know,
But it's,
they
if-
said at the planning commission that the front place where like Kung Fu Connection is, they were gonna build an office. But I haven't seen the plans, so I really don't know. But I just wanna make sure that people aren't driving in and out of 125th Street to do their loading.
You want them to,
She don't want-
to be on.
Do you know where Kung Fu Connection is? There's a little parking lot, a little. So, I'm hoping there's no access to the storage area in the back. All loading of the storage dock should be from 14th Avenue.
from 14th Avenue. Okay, all right.
Sir,
He is the owner.
No.
And if you're not the petitioner, I'd be willing to continue this if you need to. We've got. Yeah, William, we've got to have you on the microphone. We've got to have you on the microphone if you're gonna, and then we have to reopen public hearing. So,
Is
sorry.
he the
Why
owner?
don't we?
No, he's not.
Can we defer this for next
I
meeting?
motion to continue this until our next
Second.
meeting so that you can have some conversation with the applicant who's not in the room tonight.
Sorry, but we have a
I will
motion and a second
withdraw
on the
my
floor.
motion so we
Okay.
can continue.
Okay, so now I have a motion. Councilwoman Keys have withdrawn that motion. So now I have a new motion on the floor to continue this item till the next council meeting. Do I have a second to approve that
I
motion?
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item G has been continued to the next meeting.
As a point of order, I would suggest that on the staff report for the next time, the next hearing, we could incorporate the planning commission's conditions so that it's clear as to what it is that you're approving.
Okay, I don't, I didn't go back and watch it, because when I read this afternoon, it was too late for me to go back and see if they made that a condition, but it wasn't mentioned in the report, so
We'll
go
look
back
at the
and
record.
at it. And, you know, what we're given now is just a plat, a picture of a lot, no building, so it's really hard to
Right,
see.
because it's a tentative plat. That's what, the only thing that's being requested at this juncture.
Thank you.